Hello, John McConnin here with UnderwaterRealEstate.com. I'm an attorney and a real estate broker, and today we're going to talk to you a little bit about the evolution of our short sale transaction management program. A while ago, everything was working out fine. I thought I was providing a great service for clients. They were finding me early in the process. I used to charge them $1,000 to get moving on the file, and we provided many of the things you'll see enumerated below or even in other videos. I mean, we tried to help people from start to finish. We just didn't get involved in the negotiations with the banks. And we can talk about when you would want to bring in an attorney in to do those negotiations. But that's much more time and stress. It requires more time and stress, and we would have to charge more. But what's happening lately is we're getting calls from people who are 4 or 5 days away from closing, and their realtor finally lets them read their short sale approval letter, and there's usually a lack of discussion about what's going to happen with their loans and their credit, or they're concerned that, as many of the lenders do, they reserve the right to collect the deficiency. I'm concerned about even taking I can review their files and say, hey, here's the problem. Your short sale approval letter is inadequate to protect your situation. But then it's going to turn into a 2 or 3 hour session of, well, what can I do? Why didn't it happen sooner? Should I sue my realtor? So I can't even provide those services cost effectively. I can't say, hey, for $300 or $350, let's go over this and have a discussion. It turns into a tremendous amount of give and take. On the opposite end, I used to charge people $1,000 flat fee. I would start them off with a review of their listing agreement and how to select a realtor. I would then help them review their short sale packages. I would then have them set their strategy, how to work with their realtor, review the approval letters, and even maybe get involved with the negotiations if the approval letters were not to the client's satisfaction. That is a program that still works for me and works for some clients who $1,000, right now in anticipation of their short sale seems like a good idea. But for a lot of people, they're like, well, why should I pay $1,000 at the beginning of my file when I don't know I'm going to have any these problems? And I'm logical. I do a cost-benefit analysis, and I completely understand. And one of the ways to get around that problem is to make sure you're working with an ethical, educated, and I mean short sale educated realtor who's closed a lot of short sales and understands that he's there to serve you, that he's got to get you released from the deficiency or get that short sale done on your terms. And I've spoken with more than a few realtors that are willing to do that. However, the vast majority of them just want to get that approval letter, get paid, and let you deal with what's going to happen in the future, which unfortunately many times means 3 weeks after the short sale closes, you got a collection letter for 60 or 80 grand, or you got a call on the phone, sometimes at work, sometimes after hours when they're not supposed to be doing these things, but all of a sudden your nightmare just begins. You'll find out that the home equity line of credit was never closed, so you don't have a property anymore. You've lost your leverage, but you still have an open line of credit for $160,000 or $40,000, whatever the size of your second was. And that's difficult. So I wanted to find a way to get started on these things for an economical price and provide value. But for those people who wanted more, so we're going to review, we're going to teach you how to set up your listing contract and your paperwork with your realtor. We're going to give you our upside down analysis so you know what your options are. You get your recourse, non-recourse concepts straight from the beginning. Through our webinars and our continuing education, you're going to know with realtors how to choose your realtor, which lenders are worth working with when you have a recourse loan, and which ones require a short pay strategy, which lenders may release the deficiency for people who have non-recourse loans and which ones won't. We'll go over all those things. We'll provide you the education or our experience, but we'll also let you get started for $200 and see if you think it's worthwhile. Then, this is up to you. If you want to continue with sort of our document submission and review process, we're going to charge $100 a month for that. So that when you, and that price may be subject to change based on the amount of work and what we're seeing going forward. But, you know, if you want us to review your short sale package, we'll look at your hardship letter. We'll look at your income and expense statements. We will look at your asset picture and determine whether you should even take the chance if you have recourse loans, or if you should take the chance if you have non-recourse loans. When you have non-recourse loans, you just have to make sure you do the transaction correctly. But we'll go over all that. We'll go over your strategies. And then when those approval letters come, hopefully they will, if they followed the strategy that you provided to your realtor, we'll review those approval letters and talk about their sufficiency. We will also, during our webinars, talk about, for people who are getting a sense that the file's not going as well as it should be, we'll talk about, you know, how to get legal with them, how to bring the leverage of the law into your short sale. So we're going to provide you start to finish with the same program that we used to provide for a $1,000 flat fee, but we're going to let you decide how you want to use us. And what I've noticed in all my files is I really can't give good advice ever. I don't know what anybody else does until I figure out what your downside is. So our files start out, as you can see on the front page of underwaterrealestate.com, with our upside down analysis and our sort of our strategic default plan for you. That's your downside. What happens if that's like plan C for some people? It's plan A for others. But what happens, it's probably plan C for someone with a short sale. What happens if your short sale doesn't work? What if the bank forecloses? What are you exposed to? And then how do we build from there? And we take in our knowledge of having done, our brokerage has done 60 short sales. We've worked on hundreds of other types of loan workouts for people. We know which banks you're going to deal with and which banks, and how to approach those banks with which strategy. That's going to come out in our plans through video and through webinar. So if you'd like to get started with us, there's no way around it right now. We're going to either have you start off with these upside down analysis as part of the strategic default plan, or if you know you're already interested in a short sale, you can just start right here with the short sale plan. And in our short sale plan, you first get the upside down analysis, then you get all those other added things we just spoke about in this video. John McConnin, underwaterrealestate.com. Thank you.